lovelies, and welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad that you found my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Cosmic Brushes Smoulder palette. This is such a deep and beautiful romantic palette. I've got my beautiful dress on that has the heart just to capture the essence of the romance and the love that is in this color story. So I'm so excited to create this beautiful halo eye look with you today. It is nice and deep and dark and smoky, and I'm so excited to show you how we created this look. So come along with me and let's make up the rules. Excited to check out the Smoulder palette today. So it comes in this really pretty cardboard box. I love the logo for this palette. This is what the back looks like, just some of the information about the ingredient and the different shades that are included. And then when we take it out of the box, the palette itself looks very similar. Got a nice shine to it. And then this is what the back looks like. It's a little bit different. It still has those ingredients on the back. We've got the protective sleeve on the inside. We'll go ahead and take that out. There is a mirror on top, and then these are the colors in this palette. It is so pretty. It is just a kind of nice muted palette. It's got some really just kind of beautiful, just really kind of grungy kind of colors, but they are so pretty. And they really they have a couple of duochromes in here that really catch in the light and really shift as you turn the palette. So I'm really excited to go ahead and take our swatches. So we are going to go ahead and start out. We're going to swatch this first row here. The very first shade on the palette is called Swoon. A nice light iridescent shade that is really pretty. It is very shimmery and shiny. The next one is our first matte. This one is called Shy. This one is a nice light pale pink. Very, very pretty. A nice kind of light transition kind of shade. The next one is called Intimate. And this one I'm really excited about. It's a nice kind of rosy, dusty pink. Very, very pretty. And the next is called Flushed. This is a nice, very, very pretty brown shade. And then the last one on this first row is going to be called Embers. And this one is a little bit more, it looks like a duochrome. It's really, really pretty. Really trying to catch it in the light. There we go. Very, very pretty. It's kind of, it looks like it's got some pink, maybe a little bit of orange, a little bit of green. So it's got a lot of different colors that shift. So here's our first row. Let's go ahead and take a look at the second row. The first one on this row is going to be called Kindle. This one is kind of a deep pink color. It's a little bit lighter than this shade up here, but it's still a little bit more of that kind of dusty pink kind of shade. It's a little bit more brown leaning. The next one is called Allure. This is a beautiful shimmer shade. Kind of got a little bit of a gold and a little bit of a brown kind of shift to it. The next one is called Slow Burn. This is just a nice, beautiful brown matte. The next one is another shimmer. This one is called Charmed. That is really pretty. It's kind of got a little bit of brown, a little bit of gold, maybe a little silver in there. Very, very pretty. The next one is called Sultry. And this one is another matte. It's a nice deep kind of brown matte that is so pretty. These look so pretty together. I think they're going to blend together really well and make some really dark and dramatic kind of looks. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next row. The first one on the third row is called Smoulder. This is the name of the palette. Wow, that is really pretty. It is very pretty and shifty. It's kind of got a little bit of brown, a little bit of gray, a little bit of gold. Really, really nice. The next one is called Ashes. This one is a very deep matte shade. Looks like a really nice kind of charcoal gray. Very, very pretty. The next one is called Flirty. And this is another very light matte shade. Very pretty. It's very light. It's good kind of build up kind of shade. It's kind of got a little bit of a kind of tan shade to it. The next one is called Sensual. And this looks like another kind of matte gray. Maybe a little more kind of a lighter shade than this one up here. They're very, very similar, but just a little bit lighter. And then the last one on the third row is called Magnetism. And this one is super pretty. It's a nice, very shifty kind of silver metallic shade. And here are the colors in the fourth row. I'm really excited to check these out, especially that Ignite shade. It is very pretty and very shifty. All right, so this first one is called Spontaneous. And this is a little bit more green leaning for the grays. We've definitely got a few different grays that we can work with and kind of blend and shift together, but that one is really pretty. All right, this one I'm so excited about, this Ignite shade. It is beautiful, even just on the finger. Let's go ahead and swatch it on the arm. Wow, that is exactly what I wanted that to be. It is so pretty, so shifty, absolutely shiny. So excited to play with that shade. The next one is called Charisma. And this one is a nice light, just kind of slate gray shade. Next is called Perfect Match. This is another shimmer. That one's really pretty. It definitely catches in the light. It's very, very shiny. It's very light and kind of iridescent. And then the last color in this palette is called Chemistry. This one is a nice deep black matte. I really love Cosmic Brush's black matte shades, so I'm so glad that they included another one in this palette. So these are all of our shades from this palette. They are so pretty. I absolutely love this color story. I think it goes together so well. It matches that beautiful theme of that smolder and that kind of romance that they were going for. It is just a very deep and romantic kind of palette. I'm really, really excited to go ahead and jump into our tutorial and go ahead and see what kind of look we can make with this palette. I went ahead and primed my eyes with my Ulta Beauty Pigment Pop Eye Primer, so we are ready to go ahead and jump into this look today. I think because I just really want to get into some of the deeper colors in this look and really to emphasize the beautiful shimmers in here, I think I'm going to go ahead and do a halo eye today. So I'm going to start out with an Ulta Beauty blending brush, and I think I'm going to go ahead and start pretty light and then just build up some of our mattes and really get a nice, beautiful, deep and kind of blended look today. And so I think I'm going to start with this nice light shade up here. This one is called Shy. And I'm just going to dip into this with my blending brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and start applying this on the outer corner and on the inner corner here, so that way we can start to get the nice just kind of blended look for our halo eye. This one is a very, very light shade. It was very light on my skin tone, so I'm not expecting a lot of color payoff with it. Just a nice kind of light base to go ahead and start getting started on our look today. And I'm going to pull it a little bit across the crease as well, just to kind of connect everything. Just a very, very light base. Now we're going to start to deepen up just a little bit. So I'm going to go into this shade right here. This one is called Flirty. And again, just grabbing some on the end of my brush and just going in the same spots and just starting to build up. So I'm going to go in the outer corner and the inner corner. And a little bit across the crease just to connect everything. I probably won't connect as much as we get into the darker shades, but I do want a little bit of color across the crease and just that little bit of lightness to connect everything. Very pretty, very light, just starting to get a little bit of pigment on the eyes. Next, we're going to go in with Kindle and continue just to deepen things up just a little bit. Again, just going in the outer corner, and this one definitely has more pigment than those first two, so we're starting to see it just a little bit more as we're building things up. Really just starting to see a little bit more pigment here. That is very pretty. Now I think this next shade we're going to use is definitely going to add a little bit more color. We're going to go into this nice pretty pink up here. This one was called Intimate. And same process, just going into the outer corner and the inner corner and just building up some color. And I'm not going to connect this as much in the crease. I'm just going to keep it on those outer edges just to really start to create that halo eye, so I can really emphasize the shimmers on the center of the eyelid. Just kind of using soft circular motions, just blending this in and building up the pigment. We can definitely start really seeing the pigment on the eyes now. That is such a pretty shade. I really like it. There's a lot of neutrals in this palette, but I really like that shade. It really pops out of the rest of the palette. So now I've got sort of that base of pink using those 4 shades. So we're gonna go ahead and start really deepening things up. I think I'm gonna lean a little bit more into the grays and the blacks and kind of steer away from the browns for this look. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into this light gray shade here. This one was called Sensual. And using that same brush, just picking some up, and I'm gonna very lightly tap this in so that I don't have too much pigment on any one shade. And I can definitely pick up some more, but I just wanna make sure it's nice and blended out and I don't lose the pink that we added. I definitely want that to kind of show in the background, but also to go ahead and start deepening it up as well. I'm gonna grab a little bit more and go ahead and tap it onto this eye. Just keeping it on the very outer edges of the eye so that we can put all of the shimmers in the center. Next, I think I'm going to go into Spontaneous and add just a little bit more gray, maybe a little bit more lightness here. I definitely want to use as many shades as I can on this look. They're so pretty. I absolutely love swatching them. They look so beautiful together. The quality of the eyeshadows was really nice too. They were all very soft and buttery when I grabbed them, so definitely staying true to Cosmic Brushes and their brand and what I expect from them. So very, very pretty. Build this up just a little bit more, and then we're going to continue to deepen up. The next shade I'm going to go into is this dark gray here. This one was called Ashes. And really wanting to get a nice deep dark halo eye, really making everything nice and smoky on the edges. Make sure that I'm blending everything very nicely. I don't have any patchiness. You can really start to see that nice deep dark smoky look. So it's really, really pretty. It's coming together very nicely. All of the shades are blending beautifully. So pretty. And then I think for the next shade, we're gonna just go ahead and dip into this black Chemistry and really go ahead and get the deepest shade that we can here, just to really create that smoky effect. And of course the black is very pigmented, so I'm gonna kind of spread it out on all 4 spots as much as I can, and then kind of go back when I have less product on my brush and really blend it in so that it's not overpowering in any one place. It's so pretty. It's very, very dark and kind of moody. I'm really, really liking how this is turning out. Deepen up this black a little bit more on this eye. Really kind of building it up on the center so it's nice and deep. Just kind of cleaning up a little bit with my finger, just anywhere that I have a little too much product. It's kind of overpowering or going kind of out of the shape that I'm wanting. So just kind of blending it in with my finger and just making sure that everything is staying where I want it. That is really, really pretty. I think I'm gonna go ahead and clean off my brush, and I'm gonna go back in with some of those lighter pink and just kind of blend out the edges and really make everything soft and smooth, and just really kind of give it just that nice kind of glowy halo look. All right, so I've cleaned off my brush, and I think I'm gonna get back into this shade here, Kindle. And I'm just gonna grab just a little bit of product and just go right along the edges all the way across, just to really blend everything together and just kind of soften out those edges. And of course add just a little bit more of that pink kind of back into the look. I did feel like the grays and the black kind of overpowered it a little bit, so I definitely want to make sure that I don't lose all of the color and the pigment that I'm wanting in this look either. Just right along the edges all the way across, Just kind of blending in. I definitely got a little heavy-handed with the black here, so I really want to make sure that's nice and blended. I'm just going to kind of use soft circular motions just to really make sure that it's not a harsh line. And I might go maybe back into Ashes, just one of my darker shades, and kind of build up just a little bit where I'm kind of removing some pigment. And just kind of using back and forth, kind of a method with the shades, just making sure that I kind of build up and then kind of soften and just kind of going back and forth so I've got the exact pigment that I want. I'm going to dip back into Intimate just a little bit and go ahead and kind of soften the edges with this as well, just so I can get a little bit more of that really bright pink shade that I really like from this palette. Just make sure I don't lose that on the edges. I think this is looking really, really pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and put some glitter primer here in the center of my eye so we can go ahead and jump into some of these beautiful shimmers. So I went ahead and applied my NYX glitter primer, and I put this just right in the center of the eyelids. I think you can see on both sides that kind of path that I used, and so that's where we're gonna go ahead and apply our shimmers. So I'm gonna use an Ulta Beauty just flat eyeshadow brush, and I think I'm gonna go into this shade here on the corner, Embers. I think this is a really pretty shifty shade. I think it's going to look really nice with this look, and it's got some pink in it, so I think it's going to really pull on all of those light pink shades that we use. So I'm going to go ahead and pick some of this up on my brush, and I'm going to go ahead and just start applying it right here in the center of the eyelid, right here along that path that I used with the glitter primer, just kind of blending it in a little bit with this matte shade. It is really pretty on the eye. It is nice and light and shimmery, especially with all of the dark mattes that we used. I'm gonna just kind of blend this across the very top of my crease, just kind of blending it into all of this matte. Just creating kind of a nice line along the center of the eyelid. It's a beautiful shade. It is really light, really pretty and iridescent. Definitely a little bit shifty, so it's so nice. Just kind of patting this in with my brush, blending along those harsh edges, and just kind of blending it in. That is so pretty. Very, very light, very iridescent. So I'm really, really happy with how this shade is applying on the eye. I do want to kind of create a little bit more of a blend between the shimmer and the matte because it is such a light shimmer and then such dark matte. So I think I'm going to go into this shade here, Smoulder, and I'm just going to grab a little bit of this on my finger, and I'm going to just kind of pat it along the edges of this line so that we kind of have a transition from our dark matte with a dark shimmer and then a lighter shimmer, so it just kind of blends everything in together. Just kind of going back and forth this way just to kind of blend everything in together, and it definitely creates just kind of a nice kind of barrier between the matte and the Embers shifting shade that we use. It really kind of helped to create that transition. You can definitely see the difference between the two eyes. That is so pretty. It is so stunning. Blend in just a little bit more right here. That is such a pretty shade. I absolutely love that Smoulder shade, the name of the palette. It is so pretty and definitely helped to create a really nice transition. I do think I want to add just a little bit more lightness into the center, so I'm going to go into this shade Swoon. And I'm just going to grab some up on my pinky and just very lightly tap this right here in the very center, and just kind of blend that in. Just a little extra pop of lightness, and that adds a lot to this look, really creating a nice kind of glow and romantic look here. I really am happy with how this halo eye is turning out. I'm going to go back into my blending brush, and I'm just going to kind of clean up these edges right here just to really make sure everything is nice and cohesive. So I think I'm going to go just back into this Kindle shade. It's a nice good kind of transitional shade for us. And I'm just going to go all the way across the crease on the top and just kind of use my brush to just kind of pull everything together and just kind of give it a nice even blend. So that way you can see it's definitely more blended in, and over here it's a little bit more of harsh lines. So just kind of softly going back and forth and just really giving it a nice blend. Definitely got a little bit of a harsh line here, so I'm trying to kind of work this one out. And I may go back into Ashes a little bit, that nice dark gray, and just kind of blend here just to kind of even it out. And just really kind of smoke it out. And I actually think that's helping a lot. I may do that on the other side as well. Add a little bit more of that dark shade just so we don't lose it, and all of those beautiful mattes that we included. That is so pretty. I absolutely love how this look is turning out. It has definitely got a nice kind of transition from the dark mattes to the light shimmers, and definitely getting to really see just kind of that transition, and definitely makes the inner part of the eye glow. So now we're going to go ahead and move to the lower lash line and kind of reflect what we did on the top of the eyelid, and just pull all of those colors down to the bottom and really complete this look. For the lower lash line, I'm going to go ahead and use an Ulta Beauty Collection, just kind of large liner brush, and I'm going to go through that same process. So I'm going to start up here with this light shade Shy, and I'm going to apply these shadows kind of in the same spots on the bottom that we did on the top. So I'm going to put it along the inner corner and the outer corner, and just kind of go ahead and line them underneath the eyes, and just blend everything together so that it really reflects all of the shadows that we have on the top of the eyelid. And I'm leaving a hole in the center, and that's where we're going to apply the same shimmers that we put on the top as well. So now going into this lighter shade Flirty, blending this in on the outer corners. Next we'll go into Kindle. Next shade we'll use is Intimate. And now we're going to deepen things up again with those grays. So the first one I'm going to go into is Sensual. The next shade we're going to go into is Spontaneous, and I am making sure as I am blending these that I am blending them out into the outer corners, just to make sure that everything is cohesive and blends together, pulling this up a little bit into the inner corner as well, just to create a nice blended look. And then the next shade we'll use is Ashes. And finally we're going to dip into that black Chemistry shade. That is so pretty. I was using my brush just to really kind of come up into these outer corners as well. Really make sure everything is blended together exactly the way that I want. And then going ahead and pulling that down into the lower lash line. So now we're going to finish up with our shimmers, and we're going to go ahead and add some into the center of the lower lash line and really complete this look. So I went ahead and cleaned off that Ulta Beauty large liner brush, and we're going to go back in with the shade Embers. I'm just going to pick some up on the end of my brush, and then I want to make sure that I am blending everything together. It's got a nice pigment to it, so I'm going to go ahead and spray it with some setting spray, just so it will stick to the eyelid and really have a nice pop of color. So I'm going to just go ahead and put this right here in the center of the lower lash line, just like we did on the top, just following this line down. That is so pretty. It adds just a nice beautiful lightness to the lower lash line. It's such a pretty shade. I love the shift in it. It's definitely got some kind of pink, a little, it almost looks like orange, almost kind of like a sunset kind of shade. It is very pretty. So we've got that on there. Now we're going to go ahead and kind of reflect what we did on the top. I'm going to go back in with this Smoulder shade here, and I'm just going to use my finger and just pick a little bit up and just very gently just kind of tap it along the edges of the lower lash line, just blending in to those matte shades. I don't want a lot. I'm just going to put just a little bit just to soften the edges. And then the final step here, we're going to go ahead and go back into that swing shade, pick up just a little bit of product and just tap it right there in the very center. Just give it a nice light glow. That is so pretty. I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I do want to play with one more shade, this Ignite shade. I think it is just so stunning, and I love the shift on it from that kind of pink to blue. So I really do want to kind of dip into that one today also. So I'm going to use this as my inner corner highlight. So I'm going to just use a small detailing brush, and I'm just going to pick some of this up. And I'm gonna give this a little spritz with my setting spray. This is such a vibrant color, I don't even know if it would need it, but I really wanna get as much pigment as possible. So I've got just a little bit on my brush, and I'm just gonna come in and just tap it right here on the very inner corner on both sides. I'm gonna pick up a little bit more product. I definitely want it to pop and shine. This is such a dark look, and it's such a matte look. I know we've got a lot of shimmer on the center, but I want some on the edge as well. So I do want to have a nice, pretty inner highlight there. And I think that adds a lot. I think it really just kind of blends everything out and really helps to kind of keep all of the shimmer from the center and kind of pulls it over here. So it just kind of reflects the center and kind of makes it pop a little bit more. So that is really pretty. I really like that Ignite shade. I'm really excited to try another look with this palette and to actually use that one as a full color on the eyelid. I just really wanted to use that Ember shade today. I thought it would look really nice with this kind of neutral halo eye look that I was putting together. So I'm really happy with how this looked. I think adding some liner and some lashes is really gonna pull this look together and make it look really stunning. So I'm gonna go ahead and step off camera. I'm gonna add those finishing touches, and then I'll be back. We'll take a look at the final look, and I'll share some of my initial thoughts about this palette. And here's the final look. I am so happy with how this beautiful halo eye turned out today. It is so deep and dark and sultry. It is so beautiful. And so I went ahead and went in. I added a beautiful wing just because this is such a dramatic look. I used my Wet n Wild Breakup Proof eyeliner. This is in the shade Ultra Black. And then I tightline on the top and in my lower waterline with the Ulta Beauty Automatic Eyeliner in Matte Black. And then for my lashes, I went in with my Tarte Maneater Waterproof Mascara. So I'm really happy with this look. I think it is beautiful. It is so deep and dark, and I just think it is such a stunning look. I love how all of those shades blended together to create such a beautiful and smoky eye. Really love the Smoulder palette from Cosmic Brushes. I think they did a fabulous job. I really love just the packaging and the theme of this palette, just the deep, dark romance kind of look. I think it is so pretty. I love romance movies. I love anything romantic, and I think this palette is perfect just to kind of capture just like that perfect essence for a date night or for Valentine's Day, anything just kind of deep and sultry and romantic. So I think they did a fabulous job creating a beautiful color story that's really cohesive. Everything goes together very nicely. I really like the mattes in this palette. I think they are all very deep and very buildable and blendable. I love that there's kind of a couple of different kind of color schemes you can go with. There's some grays, some browns, and some pinks that you can kind of blend together to create different looks. And then of course this beautiful deep black matte that they included, I think perfectly ties all of those other matte shades together. So I think that they did a fabulous job creating color stories that you can use sort of separately, but also that they would all blend together very well. Like today we used the pink and the grays, and they all really look very nice together. So I think they did a really good job creating a very beautiful and cohesive color story with those mattes. Like I said, they are very rich, and they really create a very beautiful smoky look on the eye. Or of course, you could do something lighter with this palette as well. So I think it's very versatile. And then I am absolutely loving these shimmers. I know I only got to play with a couple of them today, but I'm so excited to dive into the rest of them, especially this Ignite shade. It is really pretty as an inner corner highlight, but of course that doesn't capture all of the shades and all of the sparkle that comes in this shade. So I'm really excited to actually get to try this on the eye and really get to see how it performs. But I really enjoyed using this Embers shade. I think it is very pretty. It is very shifty on the eye. I think it really created a very nice, just kind of glowy look for this halo eye that we created today. And then of course the Smoulder shade that we use for the namesake of the palette. It is so beautiful, so rich. It is such a deep and dark and shimmery kind of shade. So I'm really happy with the shimmers that we used today. When I did the swatches of the other ones, they are all very beautiful. They are shiny. It did not take a lot. I was able to pick up just a little bit of product on my finger, and it was very bright, and it didn't take a lot of building up. So they are very pigmented, very shiny, and I think that they did a fabulous job on this palette. Of course, I love cosmic brushes, and I would highly recommend. So I think this is a great color story. It is such a beautiful palette, and I definitely don't think you can go wrong with this one. So I would highly recommend this one. It is on par with the rest of their palettes, and I definitely enjoyed creating this look with you today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed creating this halo eye with me today using the Smoulder palette from Cosmic Brushes. I know I really enjoyed creating this video and getting to really dive into this beautiful color story. And I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Have you picked up the Smoulder palette, and what are your thoughts about it? If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you would like to see more makeup tutorials and reviews, then please subscribe to my channel. And of course, if you are already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. You really mean so much to me. Until next time, let's be kind to each other, beautiful to ourselves, and never afraid to make up the rules.